Hey y'all, your girl is trying not to have an anxiety attack because I just recorded a 22-minute video and my other phone went dead. Yep, but here we go. We're going to do it again. Today we are talking about how love is not enough. How love must be emitting from you in order for it to be adequate enough for other people. You must first love yourself deeply before you can before you can really show up loving for other people. All right, so I actually had some questions at the end of this, so if you can please stay, or I'll put the time code right here for you. I started journaling about my upbringing and some other stuff. I was raised knowing that I am loved by many. I carry that through my life. I don't have haters. I'm never disliked. This is literally something that I said most of my life. Literally, if you went to middle school or high school with me, I used to say, I just get along just like a Yorkie. I get along with everybody. But the reality is, someone can love you, admire you, and want to be around you and be inspired by you, and dislike you or hate you because they don't love themselves enough. You mirror just that. You make them think that they aren't smart enough, pretty enough, secure enough, magnetic enough, wealthy enough, or loved enough because of you doing and acting out of love, receiving love, not letting fear rule you, not letting your flaws stop you, not letting your pain make you quit, not letting someone being better than you or having more than you keep you from experiencing, creating, going places, enjoying life, not letting shame rule you, but inspire you, being friends with your shadow, being secure in who you are, who you used to be, and who you strive to become. That will make somebody dislike you. That will make somebody irritated in the spirit. That will create a hole in their hearts for you because of the inadequacy they feel inside of their heart about themselves. You make them realize they can't handle what you carry when they try to replicate it. You make them realize they can't fake what you carry. You make them realize they need to face themselves. You make them realize there is work to be done. You make them realize, and that's the problem. You make them see in a world where people would rather be blind because we live in a world of cat and mouse. And you found worth with being rather than being in a game that we are all programmed to participate in. So when it's easier to regurgitate the inadequacy onto you instead of checking why they feel the way they feel, they will. When it's easier to say you're dressing up too much instead of internalizing they feel inferior to your individuality and ability to show up uniquely, they will. It's easier to release their pain in the form of hurting you, they will. When it's easier to sexualize you instead of their intimidation to your beauty, they will. When it's easier to make you feel bad in front of others so you won't show up shining as bright as you are, they will. When it's easier to make you small than for them to work on being big, they will. It's easier to say you all are beefing rather than I am threatened by this person so I will make everything they do about me, they will. When it's easier to say this person wants my man rather than I feel insecure and insecure in my relationship and this person is beautiful and I like the likeness of this person, they will. And it's easier to say they have other things going on, they don't need this opportunity, rather than I see this person's potential and I am threatened by it, they will. When it's easier to say they have enough support instead of I'm threatened by who they can become versus where I am, they will. When it's easier to say you do too much rather than I feel like I'm not doing enough. When I say love is not enough for me, I mean it. When I say I can't afford for you to drag me down, I mean it. When I say my growth and my life experience is mine and mine alone, I mean it. When I say I deserve better, I mean it. I literally cannot afford to be in unalignment. I literally cannot afford it. I can't afford it. And I'm going to tell you why I can't afford it. And I'm using an analogy that I made up. Is it an analogy? The girl doesn't know. It's called cut from a different cloth. Imagine I am dark stripes and you are polka dot pastel stripes. I'm dark and you're light colors, right? My fabric is aligned with the other inches of my aligned fabric. In order for me to be in cahoots with you, I have to rip myself out of alignment, place myself with your fabric, and be bonded, tied to your fabric, right? I end up having to be washed with your fabric. And I'm not the same fabric as you. I'm dark. So over time, I become more and more dull. Over time, the foundation of my being, while being with you, connected and bonded and tied to you, the fabric of my being is dull, is dimmed. It loses its quality because it doesn't belong. The threads loosen, my color is almost gone. My quality is withering. When I choose to be able to know I don't belong in the environment, I can avoid it altogether. I don't have to be mean. I don't have to hate. I can just be the same way you can, the same way we can in general. And this ties into complexity because, like I've been telling y'all for, I guess it's coming on months because I had to re-record the video. But last week we talked about complexity again, and I just want to say that all these things tie into each other. A lot of times y'all don't like people because they are different type of people from y'all. They are different type of cloth from y'all. You intimidated by somebody you don't even know, and it's because they pronounce words a different way, or they got a different skin color, or they express themselves differently. You wear traditional normal clothes and they are gothic or they are alternative, and you can't for the life of you understand their lifestyle. It doesn't matter about you understanding somebody when it comes down to who they are and what they are aligned to be. It's more important for you to understand that they are their being. They are who they're supposed to be. They are the fabric that they're supposed to be. God made that person to be that way. And when y'all try to change people or make people change because y'all want to be in cahoots with them, that's weird. You can't be around somebody and then downing them every single time they try to be themselves. If I want to dress up and I have artistic abilities and want to express myself with everything around me, you can't sit up there and say, oh, you doing too much or you need to do less. This is who I am. You just basically told me I need to rip off my skin. This is basically you telling me I need to rip off my skin. This is my skin, right? I'm comfortable like this. You get what I'm saying? And while things may change for us, when we think about little things like my weight may change or different aspects of that matter, it's not something that's affecting you, so you shouldn't be trying to put your input on different things. But the reason why you do that is because you already feel inadequate within yourself. People be living in misery and want other people to feel miserable in their skin because they don't feel comfortable in theirs. And I have seen this firsthand. I have met dudes who want to be feminine and hate women because they are comfortable in their skin and they are not comfortable in who they have been born to be. And that doesn't mean they have to stay the same. That does not mean they have to not be able to dress it up nice and do whatever the hell they want to do. But the thing about it is, some people just cannot for the life of them accept people as they are because of who they are and what it feels like to be in their skin. But the thing about it is, make your skin your home. Make your skin worth being in. You can't sit up there and hate on somebody else's skin just because you don't like yours. And I'm not talking about color, but that can be a topic too. Somebody want to post their videos, you mad because yours been sitting in the draft for 2 years. How is that their problem? Get your life together, honey. I look in the mirror and tell myself, oh, they posted that. Let me like the picture. And I'm finna look in the mirror and tell myself, I need to go ahead and get on my business. What the heck? What are we really talking about? Be inspired. Somebody come down my thing, losing weight, and you see I'm chubby. Your girl is chubby. I'm not finna sit over here and be mad because they're losing weight. Oh, I'm inspired. Let's get into it. You different, I love it. You like it, I love it. Literally, I don't mean, when I say that, I do not be meaning that sarcastically. You like it, I love it. I don't have to be like you. I don't have to have the same opinion as you. And when we decide that we think that people have to have the same opinions with us and be the same as us and all this other stuff, it's control rather than allowing people to exist. We are allowed to coexist. If I want to put this freaking dark stripes and this polka dot together on the outfit and let them coexist, they will. Because I said so. Because that's how it can be. Because I have free will to do so. We should be able to coexist. We don't have to be tied and bonded, but we should be able to coexist. And I should be able to appreciate who you are, and you should be able to appreciate who I am and who I am showing up as, because God has made me this way. And the same way God has made you that way. So if I understand God has made me this way, how would I sit there and down you for who you are and make you feel belittled or make you feel too much for showing up who God has made you to be? And when you in rooms where they keep playing with you like you too much or you not enough, get out of them rooms because them rooms are not aligned with you. You trying your best and you feel comfortable in your skin, get out of them rooms because the rooms are not aligned with you. They don't like themselves or they is not the same as you. Stop blaming yourself for other people's inadequacies. Stop blaming yourself for how other people feel about themselves and try to project onto you. Stop blaming yourself because they can't see who you are. Folks can't see who you are until you sad. You can't see me till I'm sad. I gotta be down for you to see me. You're not who I need to be around. I had literally a fat man come in my comments and call me Miss Piggy. Oink, oink. You fat too. What the fuck is we talking about? And I'm comfortable in my skin, and you see I'm showing up online, but you mad because you ain't posted a picture in 3 years. So you send in my fucking comments. You get what I'm saying? And that's when we really got to start putting it on. Stop making other people, and I don't want to push this back onto y'all, but I'm going to push it back because I need to make sure I hold y'all accountable the same way I hold myself accountable. I get into moods where sometimes I push people's feelings onto myself. Why they have to do this to me? Why they have to say this to me? Why I understand they don't like themselves, but why me? Why wouldn't it be me? Ain't I a mirror? Ain't I'm showing up comfortable in my skin? Why wouldn't it be me? I'm not going to shut up. I am not going to stop dressing up. I am not going to start showing up bad. I am not going to constantly feel like the only way that I feel like I can talk to you is if I'm sitting over here talking about how things have made me feel bad. I should be able to talk about my accomplishments when I'm in the room with you. I literally thought about the time that I remember when I was in school, I used to talk to my friends. I used to be like, I just got this new Mac stuff. I used to love stuff, like beauty stuff, because I used to watch YouTube all the time. That's when I started my YouTube. And we're going to talk about that too, because that just reminded me of something else. But in middle school, I used to buy stuff or get stuff. I bought my first MAC lipstick when I was in 8th grade or so around that time or something. I don't know, I forgot. 8th grade or 9th grade. And I was like, oh, I just got this MAC. It cost $20. And I was like, oh my gosh. I really was just proud of myself for being able to get something that is in the beauty community that much. But because they didn't understand that and because they not all immersed in it, they thought it was bragging. Oh, you got this. You bragging. You being egotistical. I'm just saying that it cost me $20. But I love it and I wanted to show y'all. And then I just think about the fact that they couldn't understand because it wasn't their interest. And also, dang, but when it's time for them to talk about what they accomplished and all this stuff, oh, we good. We're not being egotistical unless we're talking about Khalida accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm doing good and I'm achieving high, and a lot of times y'all don't understand that people achieving high is not them trying to be better than you or them trying to do too much in your presence. She doing too much, she done did this, she on the roll principal is, she all this other stuff, she first chair viola, she in the choir too, she doing this and that. This is not about y'all. When I was in school, the only way I could show up for myself was with my talents and with my academics. I didn't feel comfortable even expressing my own style. I didn't feel comfortable enough to just be because at that point I didn't really know how to be because I was still having a problem with the identity. I was still coming of age, obviously, but also feeling the inadequacy and the weight of other people and people still coming to me as a therapist even though I'm a child my damn self. You get what I'm saying? So when you have that going on, it just make you feel like you really need to be little. You need to shut up. You can't talk about things that are happening good. The only time that people really tuned in and felt seen by me and I could see it in their eyes, they were actually listening to me and actually not feeling like doing too much, talking too much, or bragging or being egotistical was when I talked about how something hurt me. And even then, I didn't get the same support as when something hurt somebody else. Why? Because people enjoy you being down if they feel inferior to you. People enjoy you having a sad story if they can feel better about themselves by hearing your bad story. Oh, poor Tink. Thank God you messing up because damn it, you been doing too fucking good. Thank God you messing up. But poor Tink, poor you. All right, now let's get back to whatever the hell I was talking about before that. You can mention your problems, but we need to go into a dissertation of mine because you always be winning. So it's really no problem when you got a problem. Do you understand how fucking stupid that is? Do you know how unconnected that makes you feel as a child? Do you know how much your feelings gotta be ignored for you to get like that? Do you know how much you gotta dumb yourself and dim yourself down to get like that? So when I talk about these things, I'm not talking about this stuff from no place of, oh, she just talking and she this and that. This is real to me. This is important to me. And I mean this for y'all because I know I'm not the only one who done had to dumb themselves down for this. Get away from these people because this is what happens. And yours may happen later in life. And I'm so blessed that I went numb. I'm not blessed that I went numb. But I'm blessed that instead of being a reactive person, I chose to not react. Unfortunately, it just came to the consequences of me suppressing my emotions so much that I formed a chronic illness in my uterus. But the fact of the matter is, I'm just so blessed to not have allowed the experiences that I experienced to turn me into who and what was happening. I want to be able to hold space for you. And that's when I realized that I'm just not aligned with the people. If I can hold space for you, but you can't hold space for me, I'm not aligned with you. You worried about yourself. And most of the people, they were codependent. They didn't care about somebody being dependent on them. They care about being codependent on other fucking people. You're not worried about me because your needs feel like they need to be met at all times. My needs do not matter because I am the independent person, right? That's how they treat it. That's how they think it is. That's not how it is, and that's not how it's finna be around here. That's not how it's finna go for me. So if I want to do something for myself, I'm going to do something for myself. You can call me selfish. You can call me whatever you want to call me. But the fact of the matter is, the only reason why you feel the way you feel is because you feel as though my needs do not matter. Only way you feel that I shouldn't speak and I shouldn't have feelings is because you feel that my needs do not matter. My feelings do not matter. Who I am does not matter. And that's why you feel the need to control. Let's go circle back. That's why people feel the need to control, because they feel as though who you are does not matter, because they don't even feel like who they are matters. They want to project that inadequacy that they feel in themselves onto you because it feels better if somebody is in the likeness of me. It feels better if I have a team so that I can feel secure in myself and grounded in who I have chosen to be instead of who I want to be. I need to feel secure in my programming because in order for me to say that I have been programmed incorrectly, I must say that I have been wrong this whole time, and that will hurt my ego too fucking much, instead of the fact of the matter that I can tell my ego, it's okay. This was wrong, and it's okay. And we can start over. Every day is a new day to start over. Just because I was programmed one way does not mean that I have to force it on other people or say that it is right forever. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Let me repeat the more important part about that. When your ego is in control of you when it comes to your programming, you will never be able to feel like you should change because you don't feel as though it is wrong. Then on top of that, when you find out and you feel like it's inconsistent in the fulfillment of your life, you can't accept it as wrong by then because you done been this way so freaking long that you don't want to accept it. Do you know what I'm saying? So you never accept anything outside of your programming. You never accept anything out of how you feel. So when they try to control you and tell you you're doing too much and you're not doing enough, the reason why they're doing that is because they have felt like they have been controlled by the programming this whole time, so they need to control you. I'm doing too much. Let me change my clothes. I'm not enough. Let me do more. I'm stupid. Let me get smarter. I'm not always nice. Let me fake like I'm nice. And I could break down this more, but y'all gonna understand. If you miss for you to understand, you gonna understand. Yep. And when it gets to a certain point, this inadequacy gotta be put onto somebody fucking else. And that's why I really don't be trusting to allow myself to just accept other people's opinions of me, because I don't know how biased your opinion is of me and what your programming is and what it's based off of. My programming for certain things like my beauty, I'm not finna down myself so that you can feel better within your damn self. I don't care what day of the week it is. I don't care if it's your birthday, it's Sunday, it's Easter, it's Christmas. And when people know what darkness you've been through, they shouldn't be feeling like you need to belittle yourself for them to feel equal within themselves or better than you, because imagine being down so fucking long and people want you to be more down, because even when you just get a little bit up, they saying this is too much for them. Imagine being down for so long and somebody tell you you're doing too much when you finally decide to try. That's what's fucked up, and that's what be pissing me off with people. That's what be pissing me off. You don't know what the fuck these people been going through. You don't know what these people be going through, and you sitting over there talking about they doing too much or they need to change this or they need to do this. Let people be themselves. If I want to wear all black all the freaking time, I can. What you gonna do? Is this your closet? If I want to speak the truth and you don't want to hear the truth, get off my page. This is not about you. Do you know what I'm saying? People don't have to stop being themselves so that you can feel more secure in yourself. If you ain't comfortable in your skin, that's a problem within you. I'm not going to do that for you because my life is more important than appeasing you when I don't even know how long you're going to be in my life. And life is not forever. We do not live forever. I could die tomorrow and I will feel fulfilled. Will you feel fulfilled if you were to pass? And you have been limiting yourself because of the opinions of others? You have been keeping people around because you are scared of how they will feel when they felt rejected because you know how it feels to be rejected? You're scared of choosing yourself because of how other people feel about themselves? You're scared of choosing yourself and you could go tomorrow. You can be gone. Life is not promised. You could be gone and you're scared to be who you're supposed to be because of other people and how they feel about themselves? Do you hear how crazy that fucking sounds? And that's why I talk about the things I'm talking about. That's why I got over my fear of speaking. Y'all need to hear this. I need to do this. This is freeing to me, and I hope this is freeing to other people. Stop being scared of yourself. Be yourself and don't be scared of who you are. I don't care. I just had an attitude yesterday. Today I'm peaceful. I accept the attitude that I had yesterday. And I'm going to show up as who I need to be, regardless. Let me explain that. I'm comfortable with myself with my good and my bad. It doesn't matter. As long as I'm showing up as my true self every single fucking day, even in my bad times, I'm showing up as my true self, it doesn't matter. Because when it's time for me to go on my deathbed, at least I will say that I have lived and I have been who I needed to be and who I think the God has made me to be. Who I know the God has made me to be. I need to be grounded in me. And that's why I cannot afford unalignment, because you cannot waver me. You cannot whip me. You cannot take me. You can belittle me. You cannot make me feel inadequate within myself to the point where I do not appreciate the fabric of my being. That is not fair to me. That is not fair to who I need to be for other generations. I can die today. Somebody gonna need this message. I rebuke all, but this is real fact. Life happens. I have to be comfortable in who I am. I have to be comfortable in the people that's around me. I can't feel like I'm stuck in a situation just because. Because the benefit that's not benefiting my soul is not benefiting me at all. You understand? There's no amount of money that will cause me to put myself in stress. There's no amount of fake love that will make me abandon my love that's real inside of my heart that God has embedded into me. There's some fake love or somebody who is showing me love bomb and putting all this mess in front of my face and these gifts and all this other mess. You are not going to replace who I need to be, because when it's time for me to go in that ground, who else is going in that ground with me? You're not going. It's just me. That's why I can't play with these people who play and smile in your face and then talk about you behind your back. I can't play with these people who take and compare everything I do. I can't take and be around all these people who are comparing my ups and my downs, my adventures, my fun, my individuality, my relationships, your social media, my interest, my creative abilities, my strength to theirs. I can't be around that because my life is not supposed to be a competition. My life is not a game. I'm not here to appease you. I'm not here to play with you. I'm here to live life. Life may be a video game, but it's not a video game against other players. I'm here by myself because when it's time for me to, it's me. Because I can't play with nobody who think that my accomplishments and me doing the things that I need to do, they should be there or it should be them. And the reality is, a lot of times people say that they should be there, but really it should be them or it should be equal because they want to do it because you did it. And sometimes, instead of them saying they're competing, they need to be equivalent. Equivalent is just enough if somebody's competing with you. And that's why you can't be around unaligned people, because you're sitting around and somebody comparing and competing with you the whole entire time and you don't even know what the fuck's going on. I done been through this countless amount of times. And every single time they couldn't even get off the last or the first, every single time they couldn't get off the first level, there would be hatred in their heart for me. When I'm just living my life. I have been living my life. Remember when I was in middle school, after accomplishment, when it came to orchestra, I was just living my life. But it was people who was older than me who did not like me because I was taking their chair. I was first chair by the time I was in 7th grade. I was going to all West by the time I was in 7th and 8th grade. My first year, I almost made it into, my first year of even going into All West, I made it into All West because I loved it. I had a passion for music. I have a passion for music. But
Your
think about it,
capabilities
people
are not
cannot
my
see the passion. They
responsibility.
just see their inadequacy within themselves, so they put that on you. You got to be careful with people, because people will be sitting there right beside you and do not like you because you have a passion for living, and they have a passion for competing with you instead of living. They have a passion for trying to find the love for themselves inside of you. So either they're going to compete with you or embody you and be mad that they cannot replicate who you are successfully. They just flowed out. I don't know. But you got to understand that it's not about you. It's about them and their inadequacy. You got to understand that in these situations where somebody's competing with you or embodying you, you are just an object. You are an ideal self. It's not about fully you. It's about the pedestal that they have put you on. They need to get up to the pedestal. And when they understand that they can't get to the pedestal, they try to pull you down however they can. And it's for some things. I'm going to give you an example. When y'all sitting around and y'all get with a man, and then somebody get with that man because they know you dealing with that man. When somebody get with that man because they know you dealing with that man, they feel better about themselves because the pedestal that they have put you on, they feel closer to it because they have something that you have or you want it. But in reality, all it does is create clearance in who they are and who the other person is, right? I done dealt with it. I dealt with it 4 or 5 times in the past. I really can't say the past 5, 6 years. Let's say in a span of 4 years. In a span of 4 years, I dealt with it 5 times because they were using me as an object. And I couldn't get mad at the people. I just had to get mad at the fact that they allowed it. The person allowed it that I was dealing with. It's not necessarily about the other person. Because if I wasn't the object, they would have found another one. And that's because either the light that I carry or the accomplishments that they think I got, right? Anywho, they trying to scale themselves, and they use you as a control group, like an experiment. You are the control group. I know that I'm doing good if I am like this control. I know that I'm doing good if I have similarities of this control, right? And a lot of times that's why folks be getting close to you, because they trying to scale you up. If they can scale themselves to you, they feel better. So they get around you, you're like, oh, I feel more secure now. And so now sometimes when they can't scale up to you and they find out that they not scaling up to you when they get in person in your face, it's because, and they start acting weird, it's because they found out that they can't feel adequate with you. Being in the same presence as you, being in cahoots with you is not healthy for them. They feel that they are not enough. So they stop wanting to be real with you, be cool with you, or they try to pull you down so to make them feel better about themselves and where they at. And so if you down and with me, we good, right? That's why you can't be aligned with them people. And that is a consequence of them not loving themselves. That's a consequence of you not seeing who they are, and it's a effect for them. Damn, I said that wrong. It's a cause for why they do what they do. They don't love themselves. Yep, this is not loving yourself. So we're going to do them last sentences. Let's read the rest of this. This is not loving yourself. This is what people who don't love themselves do. So again, I do not equate loving me as enough. Love yourself, know yourself, so that you can love me adequately. Love yourself so you can emit love. Show up for yourself because you deserve more. Show up for yourself because you are amazing. Show up for yourself because you are worthy of love. And who best to give it to you but you? And God is in you. So as soon as you start to go within, God will help you do the rest. Do you hear me? Who is best to show you love but you? Because when it's time to leave this planet, ain't none of these people that you seeking love from, competing with, comparing yourself to, or trying to pull down so you feel better will come with you. It will just be poor old you. And my question for the people who have been triggered by this video and feel seen by either way of this, how can you remind yourself of your own power and regulate your needs without others? How can you better communicate what you expect from others? How can you better appreciate how much someone is able to show up for you and meet them where they are? Do you have the emotional capacity to meet others where they are? Do you have the emotional capacity to see and be compassionate for others the same way you want them to be compassionate for you? Is that a cloud? There's a cloud. Is it a cloud or chemtrails? One or the other. Who are you when others are not available, and why? I love you so much. You are so worthy. And I really hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you stayed. If you didn't stay, it's okay. And you're not going to be able to hear this anyway. But love you. Bye.